Allow me to tell you something that keeps me up at night when I think about retirement planning. You know how we all prepare for the large evident expenses: healthcare, housing, maybe some travel? Well, there is this sneaky little expense that nobody actually talks about, but it's like a slow leak in your retirement boat. I learned this the hard way during my years of financial planning, watching clients be blindsided by what I call the lifestyle creep tax. Just last week, I sat down with Tom and Sarah, a couple in their early 60s who thought they had retirement all figured out. They'd done everything right, maxed out their 401(k)s, paid off their home, even constructed a decent emergency fund. But when we started digging into their actual day-to-day spending, we uncovered this sneaky beast lurking in their monthly statements, subscription services and memberships that they barely used anymore. Here's something that most financial calculators will not tell you about retirement: your lifestyle tends to grow to fill whatever space you give it. Think about it. When was the last time you looked at your credit card statement and really thought about all those little $9.99 charges? They're not so bad, are they? But multiply that by 20 or 30 subscriptions, add in a country club membership you thought you'd get to more often, maybe a boat that's in storage more than it's in the water, and next thing you know, you're looking at thousands of dollars a year just gone. I remember another client, let's call him Mike, who was convinced he needed $8,000 a month to live his retirement life. When we sat down and tracked his spending for 3 months, we discovered that nearly $2,000 was going towards things he didn't use or could easily do without. That's $24,000 a year, money that could be working to enhance his retirement comfort instead of leaking out through his fingertips. But this is where it becomes truly fascinating. The hidden cost I'm speaking of isn't necessarily the subscriptions or unused gym memberships. It's a deeper cost, the psychological cost of pursuing a life that might not actually be making you happy. I've noticed retirees clinging to expensive hobbies or maintaining big homes simply because that's what retirement is meant to be. Here's a secret I've discovered in my practice: the happiest retirees I meet aren't necessarily the ones with the most expensive lifestyles. They're the ones who figured out what truly brings them joy and have organized their spending around it. Take Barbara, for instance. She retired 3 years ago and actually scaled down her lifestyle, not because she had to, but because she realized she was spending money on things that weren't adding value to her life. She canceled her premium cable package, downgraded to a less deluxe gym membership, and started having dinner parties at home instead of going out to expensive restaurants. The result? She's socking away about $1,500 a month and says she's never been happier. The biggest danger in retirement isn't necessarily running out of money, it's running out of money because you're spending it on things that don't matter to you. I've seen too many retirees reach this conclusion too late, after they're already 5 or 10 years into retirement and their portfolio is dwindling faster than expected. Here's what I've learned in watching thousands of retirement plans unfold: the best defense against these sneaky expenses is awareness. Start tracking your spending today, before you retire. Be brutally honest about what enriches your life and what is simply habitual spending. Ask yourself, if I had to justify this expense to my 80-year-old self, could I? One of the most useful exercises I do with clients is what I call the joy audit. We go through all the monthly expenses over $100 and rate them 1 to 10 for how much true happiness or utility they bring to their life. You'd be amazed at how many 3s and 4s are occupying hundreds of dollars a month. The sneaky thing about these covert expenses is that they have a way of masquerading as normal living expenses. Maybe your property taxes go up every year, but you've convinced yourself that you need to stay in the big house because what if the kids visit? Your automobile insurance keeps creeping up, but you're keeping 2 cars because we might need them. These are the kinds of assumptions that can slowly erode your retirement safety. I'm not suggesting you must lead the life of a monk in retirement. Nothing could be further from the truth. What I am saying is that merely being cognizant of these insidious costs ahead of time can be the difference between a successful retirement and a survival one. The earlier you start considering this, the better equipped you'll be to initiate the changes that won't seem quite so much like sacrifices. Remember the couple I was telling you about, Tom and Sarah? Well, after we last talked, they actually did a complete lifestyle review 6 months before they wanted to retire. They found nearly $3,000 in monthly expenses that they could reduce or eliminate completely without impacting their happiness. That's $36,000 a year, dollars that are now working for them, not against them. The benefit of addressing these hidden costs before you retire is that it gives you options. Maybe you can retire earlier than expected. Maybe you can take that dream vacation you've been putting off. Or maybe you can just sleep better at night knowing that your retirement plan has more wiggle room. So while everyone else is fretting about the huge obvious retirement expenses, take some time to look for these hidden expenses in your own life. Start tracking your spending, question your assumptions about what you need in retirement, and be honest about what truly brings value to your life. Your future self will thank you.